Hi guys. Hello. It's working. Right, let's put this in front of me like this, so I don't have to keep looking away, and I'll just move it back if I need to play a video. So the time is basically 8 p.m. UK time. We're in my kitchen. No, we're in my lounge. Which is probably the only quiet room that I can get in the house at the moment. Hi, Deborah. How are we? Did you get notified? I've used the new Facebook Messenger. I'm hoping it's working, and I wonder if it lets you know how many members we've got. This Facebook Messenger that we started this morning has been active non-stop. Hi, Satnin. I wonder if it lets you know. See group. Does it let you know how many? Nope. So to me, it looks like 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 40. It looks to me like it's 45, 50, 55. We've got about 55 members on our Facebook Messenger. Oh, it even says here Mindy Miller. Now, is Mindy Miller on my... Let's have a look. Let's just see. Is Mindy Miller on my friends? I did friend request her. Let's have a look. Oh, yes. She accepted my... Mindy Miller accepted my friend's request. That's good, isn't it, guys? I like Mindy Miller. She's great. I've watched quite a few of her interviews now. Okay, right. Luke, defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. We have got Satney and Elvis Presley and Deborah. It's just 4 of us, guys. 4 of us. There's no point. I might as well shut the laptop and finish. So I did. Do you know what I found interesting? I'm a bit excited about the Facebook Messenger thing that we've set up, and what I loved about it was that you lot have been chatting all day, literally you guys. We had a brilliant. Today I decided I was going to involve Amy Collette. You know, I always have to say to you, Amy was the one that did a show with Presley Mania and Rhonda about Elvis's health and health history. But remember, Amy Collette is a proper researcher. She does detailed research. I would call her an expert, and she probably wouldn't like me calling her that. But I call her an expert researcher, and I really do rate Amy's advice, information. And she sent me, guys, we were discussing the lease of Graceland. And let's just have a look. And I did challenge her and say to her, I challenge you to find the lease, the agreement of Graceland, the lease being sold, maybe even Elvis Presley Enterprises agreement. And she has sent me something. I haven't read it yet. I read one part of it. You guys were a bit worried that there's a possibility that Gracelands could be sold because it was leased. Yes, Riley Q owns it, and she's holding it on behalf of the twins in the trust. But the lease is run for Gracelands, is run by Elvis Presley Enterprises. We know Elvis Presley Enterprises also is only 85% owned by the big company, Joel Weishanker. Yeah. 15% is still retained by Riley Q and Finian Harper when they're old enough. So she sent me a document. I thank her for that. Let's see if I've got it here. Let's have. I actually moved it over. That's right. Maybe it's not come up there. Let's have a look. Let's see. I must have put it somewhere else then. All right, let's go to the message and see if we can get it off that. But I actually took a picture. One of the things you guys were worried about, let's see if I can find that picture, was can Gracelands be sold, the lease? Now remember, the lease is in charge of running the tour. The lease is in charge of probably the museum and the way that the tour uses the land, yeah? But the ownership of Graceland is definitely still owned by Riley Q. Okay, so she sent me a section, which if I can find it, I'm going to read that section to you. Let's have a look. So I've got so much stuff on there because I've been. Let's have a look. Oh, someone else sent me something as well. What was it? Oh yeah, the burial certificate. Let's have a look. Let me just see if that's on there. Yeah, so the burial certificate. I'll see if I can quickly read that. So obviously the 6 plots of land, of graveside, what do you call it, burial plots that had to be applied for by, is it Memphis City? And someone sent me it through the page. You can't see it. Anyway, guys, you can't see it. Yeah. You can't see it. It basically just says applicant D. Beecher Smith, 11 attorney. Then it says premises. So that must be the attorney, yeah? Mr. D. Beecher Smith. Premises affected 3764 Elvis Presley Boulevard, 154 feet north of Dolan Road. Then use R-1 single family residential, requesting a variation for the zoning regulation to use a portion of the property to establish a family burial site containing not more than 6 burial plots. Appearance, applicant D. Beecher Smith, attorney. And it says for opposition, it says none. And then it says action of the board approved. So many of you keep bringing this up, that it doesn't matter what Riley Q agreed with Priscilla about Priscilla being buried at Graceland because it's only 6 plots. I don't know how that works. I don't know if that can be altered. I wonder this. In the UK, people do tend to bury, like if it's a husband, say, has died and then the wife dies, they bury them on top of each other. Can that happen at Graceland? Is it allowed? Because it's 6 plots. And Amy, if you're watching, you can answer this. Is it allowed to have one body above the other body? So that means they can double up. 12 plots. What do you think, guys? Is that possible? Does it make any sense to you? So, okay. So let's go back to what Amy sent me. Okay. And I do thank Amy for all the help she gives me. I don't deserve it. Right, so I took a picture of let's have a look. No, it's not here. So let me look at her message. Let's have a look then. It probably won't even come through now. Archives, that could be it. Full documents. So I'll read, first of all, before I get the document up, I'll read the section that she sent me, that she put a yellow ring around. So you guys were worried. Take a picture of it. Hi, everyone. Riley can't override the City of Zoning laws. True, Cheryl, but there must be a way to apply for things, yeah? A new application. There must be, otherwise that wouldn't have happened. Let me just check all. Riley, let's have a look. All right, just quickly checking your messages and just seeing who we've got. We've got Tonya. Hi, Tonya. Stacey, Patricia, Cheryl, Satin, Helen. Hi, Helen. Pat's on. Lorna's on. Hi, Lorna. And Helen. So there's quite a few of you not on yet. I'll quickly go to our joint. I'll say it again. We are live now. I'll do it in capital letters. We are live now. Will it work? Okay, let me read that thing. Right, this is just one section, and it's called Graceland Operations. You can't see it, but I'm going to show you anyway. Amy put a yellow ring around it. Now, you guys are worried that now we've found out that Graceland lease was sold to Elvis Presley Enterprises, 85% of it. It was first sold around 2005, and then I think was sold again. Ooh, I need to get my years right. I think it was sold again. Oh, you're going to have to tell me, guys. I think 2015. I could be wrong. Right, so let's have a look. So it says here, Graceland, the 13.5 acre estate, which served as a primary residence for Elvis Presley from 1957 until his passing in 1977, is located in Memphis, Tennessee. Graceland was first opened to the public tours in 1982. Over the past 5 years, Graceland has averaged approximately 570,000 visitors per annum, which is amazing. We operate Graceland under the terms of a 90-year lease. So there we go. It's a 90-year lease with the Promenade Trust. We know about the Promenade Trust. We prepaid approximately $3 million of rent at closing of the acquisition of the Presley business, and will make monthly payments of $1 per month during the term of the lease. So for 90 years, they only pay $1 a month, but they did pay $3 million in rent in advance. Now that's a good deal for Bob Silliman, the guy, the billionaire, the millionaire, the entrepreneur, stockbroker, whatever you want to call him. That was a great deal. A 90-year lease to run and profit from the Graceland tour. Don't forget, the tour isn't just driving around Graceland. It involves everything to do with the museum, inside and outside, I think, yeah. And he paid his $3 million, which I know was a lot of money in... I'm not sure what year. It doesn't say the year. I'll have a look for that in a second. So he had a 90-year deal to run Graceland, to have the lease of Graceland with no rent, really. He paid rent in advance for 90 years. That's a bloody good deal. And we'll make monthly payments of $1 per month for the term of the lease. We also have acquired a worldwide rights, title, and interest in the name Graceland, which name may be used at additional themed locations as well as in Memphis, Tennessee. Well, we know about the Graceland Hotel, don't we? Okay, interesting. Now let's look at the full document. I'll just check your messages. So we've got, where are we? Sorry, whenever I read anything, I miss all your messages. Okay, so where are we? All right, EP Enterprises brings in a lot of money to Memphis. I definitely. Actually, you guys were talking about Vernon on the Messenger. I wanted to discuss that with you guys. Some of you guys think there was a small chance that it was possible that Vernon used to hit Gladys. I think some of you guys think that Elvis would phone home to make sure that Gladys was okay. But I think Amy did jump in and say, let me just go from memory, that she had spoke to someone. Who was it? Someone, you tell me, guys. And they had put her mind at ease. Yes, June Junico, Elvis's girlfriend, in 1956. Yeah. So she had spoke to June Junico, and June Junico said, there's no way that Elvis ever hit Gladys. Okay, is that right, Amy? Did I get my facts right? It's just when I was briefly running through things. Right, let's get this document up. Let's check your messages as well. Hi, Diana. So people think that Elvis Was his ex buried on the top of him for eternity after she took him to the cleaners? Sorry, I don't believe it. The poor guy doesn't get a say at all. Thanks, Cheryl. Like here, I want to be buried on my land. I can have only 6 graves here. Right. I agree. Elvis and Lisa and Vernon would want her to be buried there. I agree, Deborah. Elvis, Lisa, and Vernon would want her to be buried there. All right. It says here that Amy's on. Someone says hello, Amy, but I don't think Amy's on yet. Is she? She could be. Maybe I just can't read. Let's have a look. So, right. Since the divorce, she should be next to him. I never heard that. Natalie, who wants to be buried with their ex? Good point, Linda. Good point. That is a bit weird, isn't it? Priscilla, sorry, Teresa. Priscilla should not be next to Elvis. She was very mean and nasty and calls it Elvis. Right, let's keep going. I think Lamar was with Elvis on more of a daily basis than June, so he would know a little more. Why would he lie? Right, Cheryl, I'm only halfway into this conversation. Was it Lamar that said Vernon would hit Gladys sometimes? And even though we don't agree with it, guys, in the 1940s and 50s, men did hit their women, didn't they? So is that what you're saying, Cheryl? Yeah, so it was in the All the King's Men documentary, yeah? She said he was amongst us, so why would she, unless there was a motive? Anything like that, guys, I always just want some proof. Always, anything. Even send me the clip of Lamar Fike saying it, but anything, rather than if we're just going to say it in comments, I would rather put that down as a maybe or hearsay until I've got something to show it. Now, I could try Googling it. Shall I Google it? Right, let's try that. Did Lamar Fike hit... No, what was... Did Vernon hit Gladys? Let's see what comes up, yeah? Cheryl, I'm saying it because it was said by one of the members of Mafia. I believe it was Lamar. I'm not just saying it. Thanks, Cheryl. I'm going to be straight with you, Cheryl. I don't trust the things the Memphis Mafia say. I don't trust it. I've watched so many interviews by the Memphis Mafia. There's some things I think are a maybe, but that's just me. You guys may see many. Obviously, there's different members of the Memphis Mafia. That we have different points of view for each one of them. We have our favorites. We have our least favorites. We have the ones that we've caught lying. We have the ones that seem to adore Elvis and would die for Elvis. Yeah. So it's very mixed opinions. Very mixed. So let's read this. We're going to read this, see what it says, yeah? What was the relationship like between Elvis and Vernon? I've never read this, by the way. Look, we love Billy Smith, but he doesn't know it all. No one likes it when I say that. We love Billy Smith. We feel sorry for Billy Smith. Billy Smith was outed by Elvis Presley Enterprises. Yeah, he's been mistreated and he's been put out in the cold. But not everything he says is correct. Some of the things he says are hearsay, are maybe. But he also knows a lot of things. So we have to sometimes just use our own way of thinking to decide. Because knowing Elvis as well as Billy did, obviously he knew Elvis really well, really close for many years, right back into the 50s. But sometimes when he is asked questions, he says, in my opinion. in my opinion. That's not good enough. We want this happen, that happen, this happen. None of you are going to like it when I say that, but I have to be critical. Right, let's have a look. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I love Billy Smith. Love him. I think he's amazing. Right. Patricia, I would doubt Billy would know. He was so young, and Lamar travelled with Elvis, and I'm sure Elvis confided in him. Good point. Cheryl, also Red West was around Elvis a lot. Do you know what, Natalie? I really liked Red West. I really liked Red West. He was one of my favourite. I've watched loads of his interviews. I've read loads of stuff about him. And I've listened to the Elvis conversation that Red West secretly recorded, which I don't think he should have done. We know the story of Red West. We like him, how he's portrayed in the films. But Red West, whether you like him or not, did betray Elvis. We know that Red West protected Elvis at Humes High School, stopped the boys from cutting his hair. We know that they were very close, very young, right at the beginning. Yeah, Red West would have done anything for Elvis. We know this, but he still betrayed him. He still betrayed him. And he took that to his grave. He took it to his grave. So I've got loads of praise for Red West. Then I'll say he was a traitor. And I would also say he should never have recorded that conversation secretly, which you can watch on YouTube if you want. And I will also say I've watched Red West lose his temper in interviews when he's questioned about the book, Elvis, What Happened. He loses his temper, gets angry. He doesn't like being questioned about it. I've also heard Red West admit that when they were writing the book, there was bitterness there. Bitterness. So it ain't straightforward, guys. We have to look at it from both sides of the coin. Right, let's have a look. So the question was what was the relationship like between Elvis and Vernon? Let's see if we've got any answers here. All right, so someone says Vernon seemed like a pushover. The other person says the movie kind of hinted that too. I also read that he couldn't keep jobs very well. However, it seemed that they had a decent relationship for most part. And we see Elvis and Vernon, in interviews. There's one that stands out. I'm going to see if I can get that up. Where where it's a press conference. Elvis has got the light blue. Was it a jumpsuit? The light blue, and the big where he stands up and grabs his gold belt. Is it? And says, "I plead innocent of all charges." That interview. What interview was that, guys? Was it 74, 73? And Vernon sits quietly in the background, but then eventually the press conference people call out to Elvis, say, "Can we speak to your father?" And then at the end of it, you hear Colonel Tom Parker shouting over. It was at 72, okay? I might try and find that, guys. Lamar lying about this issue does not benefit him in any way. That's how I discern lies from truth. Okay, Cheryl. Fair enough. But, again, it's all points of view. Let's have a look. Right. Billy did say on his channel that Vernon hit Gladys occasionally. Okay, I haven't seen that, but fair enough, Tracy. You know me, I'm against hitting of women and children. I'm completely against it. I went through it in my childhood quite badly, and I'm against it. But it was different in the 40s and 50s and 60s. Men thought they were good husbands and good fathers if they hit, which is just so wrong. So wrong. If Billy says that he doesn't know, he doesn't. Let's have a look. If Billy says he don't know, he doesn't. If he doesn't want it told, he will say that it will die with me. Okay, that's fair enough. Cheryl and none of the others disputed Lamar when he said that. Okay, I'll look that up, Tracy. It was 1972. I'm going to see if I can find it. Yeah. It was said that Vernon was lazy and Gladys had to work, but that's all I heard. And I have heard this before, Pat. So Was it even possible to be lazy in the 40s and 50s? Or should I, well, more the 40s, isn't it? Because it would have been before Elvis's success. You know, wasn't he only 17 when they got married? Wasn't Vernon 17 and Gladys 21? Is that right? Tell me, guys. How old was Gladys when they got married? I'm pretty sure it could have been 22. I'm pretty sure Vernon was 17, Gladys 22. You tell me, guys. My memory is terrible. Let's have a look. What have I missed about Lamar? I think Kelly Dan, I think they're just saying that Lamar once said that Vernon used to hit Gladys. I think that's what's being said. No excuse for a husband or wife to hit each other. If that's all you can do, each other, leave the relationship. Francis, I agree. But in the 40s, 50s, 60s, macho men, thought being a good husband was being in control and hitting the wife, hitting the kids. It was wrong. Unfortunately, I grew up through that. So, not nice. Right. Vernon was considered work shy, but could you be work shy in those days when you got no food, no clothes, no money because they didn't even have electric today, and probably had to go outside for running water and for the toilet. I think it's hard to not work, isn't it? Didn't they do a lot of cotton picking? Wasn't cotton picking one of the main jobs that Gladys did? Yeah, with Vernon. Is that right, guys? Let's have a look. Vernon was not smart man, but Elvis respected him like a Southern boy does his father. I don't think he respected him much after Gladys died and Vernon remarried. Yeah, right. That is a whole new live stream. We know that Elvis was, I think you're going to agree with me, against the marriage with Dee Stanley. We have very strong views about Dee Stanley because of the disgusting things that she said about Elvis and Gladys. So we could talk all day about Dee Stanley. I've watched some pretty horrific interviews about Dee Stanley. Pretty horrific. You guys have as well. They were apparently so close-knit that the three of them, he would not make Elvis do that he didn't want when he was sensitive as a boy, shooting, for example. Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean, Jane. Yeah, it's hard to get work. Yeah, I understand that, of course. And that is why they moved around, isn't it? Because they moved around in Tupelo quite a lot. Even I read moving once to Memphis, and then they missed their friends in Tupelo and came back to Memphis. This is pre-teenage Elvis. We know that when Vernon went to prison for check fraud with his friend, I think they were trying to sell piglets and they were not happy with what they were paid. So they altered the check to cover the amount they felt that they'd been short paid. And then I think it was their landlord, the guy who mortgaged them their home. We know they built their own home. I think, didn't Vernon build his home with his uncle or his brother or something like that? We know that once Vernon went to prison, I think he was he did 3. I think he was sentenced 3 years, but only served 18 months. And we know that the guy who got Vernon put in prison also helped him get released, didn't he? So it's pretty obvious that once Vernon was in prison, and obviously this seriously affected Elvis and Gladys, their bond grew even closer and money was even more impossible. And because of it, they lost their home. They lost the house on Old Satilla Road. As far as I remember, I'm going from memory, they moved next door or very close by into Gladys's, let me just try and remember, into Gladys's in-laws' house. In-laws. But my memory is that Gladys didn't get on with the in-laws, so they ended up moving again. Does that sound right to you guys? So I know that, Gladys and Elvis moved around a few times. Part of it was looking for work as well. So, they struggled, guys. You know that. They struggled. But I always think Elvis made the best of it. I always think, I heard a story that Elvis used to play with his little cars underneath the house, and he would let his friends use his little cars, and they have these little toy cars. And he would. I also heard that he would share his comics, and he would loan out his comics to people. You know, we're talking when he was just a small boy. Yeah, just all interesting stories, really, isn't it? Right, let's have a look. He wasn't recounted that Gladys had a temper as well, and both her and Vernon would have fights in the kitchen. That's probably true, chilling in Canada. Gladys was 21 on their marriage license. Vernon claimed he was 22, and Gladys said she was 19. Right. I got a feeling he was 17. Vernon ran moonshine. That's why they had to leave Tupelo. Tracy, that's interesting. I'd like to read that somewhere. I have heard that before, though. Vernon hit Elvis in front of Gladys, and she sat Vernon straight, and he never hit Elvis again. Right, okay. Very interesting. Tracy, Vernon was sent to Packman prison. That's why they lost their house. Yeah, I know about that. I've also read that the guy who got them in trouble, basically grassed them up to the police about the check fraud, also helped get Vernon sentence reduced and got him out of prison. Yeah, I forget his name now, but I've read this. Gladys did not like her father-in-law. Yes, and that's, so I heard, Helen, hi Helen. So this is what I heard. She moved into her in-laws' house, didn't get on with them, so they were out of there. He would give his bike away, and Vernon would have to go and get it back. He always loved giving and sharing. Yes, I keep reading this over and over again, Kelly Dan. Elvis actually gave away his favorite comic book to younger children. Yes, I heard this, Francis. Does that surprise anyone? It doesn't surprise. He's so kind-hearted. Just the way he was, you know. This, right, Tracy. Jesse and Vernon, Dad, was a rogue, right? So yes, so Jesse Presley, who was Vernon's dad, was a rogue. That's very interesting as well. I'm sure if I look that up, there'd be quite a lot of information about that. Who was the one that went on TV and was singing? Was it Jesse? Was it Jesse, the one that went on a very old 1950s TV news show, and he actually sang a bit? I saw it. I actually watched it on YouTube. Was that Jesse? So let's have a look. Didn't Vernon blame Billy Smith, Dad, for check fraud? I don't know about that. Interesting point, though, Linda. So, yeah, moonshine, alcohol, isn't it? It's yes, he signed a petition to early release Vernon on the basis of family hardship. Yeah, and I've read all this. Hi, Lorna. Okay. Made from potato. Bit of moonshine made from potato. So Vernon was, let's see if there's any more comments. No, that's that. Right, let's go back a bit. Actually, let me see if I can find that press conference. Let's just see if we can play a couple of minutes of it. I'll just type in Elvis press conference. Conference 1972. Aha. Right. I'm not sure which part of it this is, but we're going to play it and we're going to use this. Because if I don't, we're going to wobble. Now, this has been remastered, so it's 4K. Not that it matters, because that camera is blurry. But the reason I use this camera is because it's at this distance, it's crystal clear. So because of that, I like using it.
Sit down. First of all, I plead innocent of all charges. Live up to an image. I'll put it that way. Come on, bring your mouth over here. Come on to it. As soon as the colonel gets through talking, God.
What about your image as a shy, humble country boy?
Oh yeah, I'd like to do something. There's so many places that I haven't been yet. I'd like to go to Europe, and I'd like to go to Japan, and all those places. I've never been out of this country except in the service.
Love that. Love that. That obviously it's been remastered and slightly edited. Brilliant. Love it. And I'm going to play a few more, but I just want to say a few things about that. Now, you think about it, okay? Elvis died in 1977. So that was probably 4.5 years before he died. Now, that man, this is what annoys me when people call Elvis a druggie, right? Now, remember, we are called Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. Yeah? I repeat it. We are called Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. That short 2-minute clip stands for everything that I'm trying to do with Team Elvis. And that is that man, 4.5 years before he died, probably 37, 38. There is nothing wrong with that man. He looks super fit. He answers the questions very, very intelligently. He gives very quick, very smart answers that are well thought. He doesn't look drugged up. He doesn't look spaced out. He's not slurring his words. Even when he gets up and he's being funny and shows off his belt, there is nothing wrong with that man. Now, okay, he probably had some illnesses, chronic illnesses that he kept quiet, that he was embarrassed of, that not many people knew about. And yeah, he may have been on some medication at that point, but anybody that tells me that that man was a drug addict, completely have not watched Elvis at 38 years old, 37, 38, because, come on, guys, if Elvis was this fat, binging drug addict, and the people talk about him in that way as if he was like that for a big part of his life, well, why is it that we see Elvis from about 1954? Does that sound right to you? Why is it from 1954 and to after this? Because don't forget, Elvis, even in 73 and 74, I would say even 75, more 74, still looks good. He's starting to get a bit puffier. Now, remember, puffiness was a side effect of the medication. He was on over 40 tablets a day. As his chronic illnesses were starting to get more severe and it was affecting more things, so, his lungs, his breathing, his liver, his twisted colon, his constipation, his extreme migraines, his glaucoma, his hypertension, so many other things, guys. Yes, as he needed more and more medication because he was a desperate man, very sick, looking for anything to soothe his pain and discomfort. Yes, as we get nearer to 76, then you can see it on him. His stomach is distended, his whole body has inflamed, his hands are puffy. And yes, I accept that his chronic illnesses had forced him really because of pain and discomfort, especially the steroids. He started to look different, very different, especially in the last year. But my point is, we've seen the pictures of Elvis in Hawaii on holiday in March 1977. His body was slim. His face was puffy. Yeah, his stomach was protruding a bit, but his legs had slimmed out. His arms had slimmed out. This is the point I'm trying to say to you guys. This is why we're called Defending Elvis Presley, is that the world, non-Elvis fans, will talk about Elvis like he was this fat, druggy, binging on burgers, taking recreational drugs to get high and stoned. No way. No way. That man there, I don't care what people say about him. Yeah, we'll just show a little clip of it again. In fact, I'm going to play quite a large chunk of it. There is nothing wrong with that man. Nothing. That man is a healthy, slim, fit-looking man, very alert, not slurring his words. His eyes are completely normal. Very, very smart, articulate replies to his questions. Very shy, quite timid, almost embarrassed. Yeah, the way he comes across. But he looks $1 million, and he's nearly 40. He's nearly 40. So anyone watching this, non-Elvis fans that think Elvis was a fat junkie, he was nearly 40 when this was recorded.
Closeness of an audience, of a live audience. So just as soon as I got out of the movie contracts, I started to do live performances again.
Hey, Mr. Presley, what is your opinion of war protesters? And would you today refuse to be drafted?
Honey, I just tend to keep my own personal views about that to myself because I'm just an entertainer, and I do not.
Do you think other entertainers should also keep their views to themselves?
No.
Are you satisfied with the image you've established?
Well, the image is one thing, and a human being is another. You know.
How close is the image to the man?
It's very hard to live up to an image. I'll put it that way.
Come on, I need Malcolm over here. Come on to here.
Sons of Colonel gets to talk God.
What about your image as a shy, humble country boy?
Oh, I don't know what makes him think that. You know, this gold belt. Oh yeah, I'd like to do something. There's so many places that I haven't been yet. I'd like to go to Europe, and I'd like to go to Japan, and all those places. I've never been out of this country except in the service.
That's it. So, anyway, you get my point, guys. This is why we're here. This is why together, Team Elvis, you and me, we're defending him. Because it is wrong. Let me just put we're live again on the channel. This is why we defend Elvis, because we're fed up with the Elvis was this, Elvis was that. Did you know this? Did you know that? No. We're going to prove you wrong, doing research with documentation, with interviews, and the best proof is seeing Elvis in real life. In real life, on an interview. Let's go a year forward. See if we can see him a year later. Let's have a look. I'm not sure. Right, this one here I like. I think it might be a very similar year. I've watched this a few times.
Probably stick to English mostly. I've done some songs in Spanish and Italian, German, different things like that. So I don't know, you know. Yeah. I'd just like to say before anything else that it's a great privilege to do this satellite program, and I'm going to do my best, and all of the people that work with me, to do a good show, which is pure entertainment. No messages and no this and that, just try to make people happy for that 1 hour that he comes across. If we do that, well, then I think you're on a job.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. Does anyone know what year that was there? Because I do think there you're starting to see the signs of him not being well. Yeah. So does anyone know what year that was? What he was promoting? Let's get some more up. Oh, do you know what? One of my favourite ones is when he comes out of he gets off the helicopter. Let's have a look. Here we go.
Stepping out of the helicopter, he's attired in white suit with here he comes. He's coming up to get last in the crowd. Hey, Elvis, how are you? I'm over there, Dean. Welcome back. Thank you. Nice to see you. Thank you very much. One day later. Thank you very much. Nice to
just pause it a minute. Who is that guy that reaches over to interview him? Because I've seen him a few times before. Do any of you know who that guy is? He leans over the fence to talk to him. Come on, let's get another one up. What's this then? Let's have a look. I know this is it's a bit too small. You won't be able to watch that. Let's have a look. There's a great one here of Lisa Marie. Should we play a little bit of Lisa Marie?
Why would first of all, congratulations on the CD. That's a very sexy pose right there. Like, oh, were you going to take my picture? You kind of look very surprised.
Where I posed?
Yeah.
When?
Was that
Oh,
like
there?
Yeah, that kind of looks like a picture like that.
No, I glaring at the camera. Hey, having my picture taken. I'm terrible.
It's good. I like it. So why would you take so long? Were you singing all along, and then all of a sudden you finally did a CD, or?
No, well, since I was 22, I think I was too nervous to do it in front of anyone before that.
But you sang around like friends?
Listen really hard if I sang ever.
Right. Because you sound like your dad.
I do?
Yeah. You don't think?
I don't know. I haven't heard that. I've heard Cher.
You do sound a little like Cher.
But then Cher kind of sounds like my dad a wee bit. So
Yeah.
So it kind of goes full circle in some odd way.
Yeah. Cher has always been compared to Elvis.
Has it? No, you're full of it.
No. No, but there is a little bit of that. I guess more than anything, you have that kind of lip thing that you do. But you sound great. You have a great voice, and so that must be really tough to take that risk and say people are going to hold me up to this standard of that you've got to deliver something huge being the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you feel now? Because you seem more comfortable now.
It's been pretty much throwing me in the frying pan every time. Different frying pan, but
right. But a frying pan is a frying pan.
It's exactly. It's hot.
Yeah. If it's on the fire. If not, it's just on the shelf.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's like wood.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, do you have stories because that must be people must just ask you stories all the time about your dad and weird stories growing up. Do you have anything that we don't know that you should share with us?
See, I usually don't, but I will. There's one thing that's kind of funny that I'll say. That he used to have a police light, a blue siren, and he'd carry it around in his car. And then he would chase after people who were speeding, put it on top.
I was the only one who did that.
Yeah.
That's good to know. I'm like the king.
Yeah. No, and then he would wait. He would chase them down and get out of the car, walk up to the window, and say, son, you're going too fast. Why don't you slow down? And then go back and get in the car and take off, laughing hysterically.
They must be flipping out that Elvis did that to him.
That's part of the kick
between
of it.
he and Dennis Quaid. Dennis could be right next to him in the car. Slow down, fella. Did he ever shut down a lemonade stand? Did he ever go up to a little girl, tell her she didn't have a permit?
We've got the lemonade going all over here today.
Did you get some lemonade?
I did.
Yeah, because you have kids, you should have them selling lemonade.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do they go on tour with you? You're touring right now, or you're getting ready?
Starting again Saturday.
And how do you? Because if you haven't worked up to that, to all of a sudden do a scene, it's one thing to be in a studio, but then to go on tour, and what's that like to?
That was a little rough, just because I was ill that entire tour, and I couldn't do anything about it, and I had to fly. I actually had 2 days off at one point, and after 4 weeks, I had to fly back and get an endoscopy where they stick a camera down your throat and look in your stomach. So that was my day off.
Paparazzi is too much.
That was That's good. That was funny.
What was it? Because stomach? Because you think it was nerves from
No,
touring?
it's the bacterial problems. I need antibiotics, gastritis, reflux. So, and singing, yes, it's a lovely combination. And singing aggravates it.
Singing aggravates reflux?
Singing gets it all upset, and then I want to throw up, and it's terrible. So I had to battle this every night. I wasn't really having fun on stage. But so the 2 days that I had off, I had to fly home, get knocked out, and then wake up, get back on stage the next night.
Well,
so they could diagnose it, you know.
that sounds like quite a tour.
Yeah, it was fun.
So there's singing and throwing up involved.
Okay, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not that keen on Ellen. Her humour. I don't get it. But you guys might love her. But Lisa Marie looks amazing. Now, did I hear you guys? Should we go out with a bit of a bang? Should we get a bit of Elvis kissing? Wind up, you ladies. Before we go, a bit of fun. Yeah, I agree, Tracy. She doesn't do it for me. I just find her. What's the word? She does constantly interrupt, but also she's not funny. But that's just my opinion. Many of you on here might go, "No, Ellen is amazing," but she irritated me. But I loved watching Lisa Marie. So come on, Elvis kissing. Shall we do it? Elvis kissing. Come on, let's see what comes up. Let's tease the ladies. Let's have a look. Oh, will it let me do this? Let me put this on. I'll go and see what my son wants.
I guess this is it.
All right, 1 second.
Good night, Danny. I guess I better go upstairs now.
Good night. I didn't mean nothing by it, honest. But you played up to me this afternoon. I thought you knew the score. I'm sorry.
I liked you right away, that's all. I better go now. Will I see you again, Danny?
Well, I don't know. See, I'm pretty busy. I don't know.
If you ever have the time, I'd like to see you again. Good night.
Good night.
Hey, Danny.
Hi. You busy?
No.
Okay, we got a date, huh?
Uh-huh. Where are we going?
I'll show you. We're almost there. It's just around this bend. Where do you see it?
You don't know how I was hoping you'd come by. I don't even understand it. I mean, lots of fellas have come into the store asking for a date, just like you. Making cracks. You were even worse. You came in to rob the store. But I was looking for you when I came out. Then you took me to that hotel. And I went with you. I don't understand it. I thought I was a nice girl.
You are a nice girl, Ellie.
I've been thinking about that night, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. I told you before.
No, Danny, that's not what I'm sorry about. It's like everything just started with you.
I guess both of us did something that day we'd never done before, Ellie. I never robbed a store. I guess it's the last time for everything, too.
I didn't mean it.
Wait, we're coming to it now. You see that house over there? You see it? It used to be our house. Paul bought it when I was about 8 years old. It was kind of my birthday present. We sure had a lot of happy times. I want to buy that house back someday, or one just like it. And I guarantee you nobody's going to take it away from me. Nobody.
I told my mother about you. I told her I met $1 million boyfriend in a 5 and 10 cent store. you ever going to kiss me tonight?
Nellie, don't fall in love with me. Love means getting married and having kids. I don't even know who I am yet.
Who do you have to be?
I don't want to be like my old man. Love, marriage, having kids. I want to be somebody first.
Do you know a better way? You can still kiss me.
Just leave it at that, Nellie, for now anyway. I mean, just so it was you that I wanted to be with tonight to show my house to.
Danny, is anything wrong? Are you all right?
Sure.
It sounded so funny when you called. I got here as soon as I could. I told Mr. McIntyre it was an emergency. I'd be right back.
Nellie, there's something.
What's the matter, Danny?
Nothing. Did you speak to Father Franklin yet?
I stopped by this morning. He's a wonderful man. He's known me ever since I was a little girl. He was so happy I finally found someone I was serious about. He can't wait to meet you. He's there now if you...
I can't, Nellie. I wouldn't know what to say to him. That's why I had to see you. I think maybe too much has happened too fast. I mean, you're a swell girl, and I don't want to hurt you. But something's happened. A lot's happened. I walked out on Charlie the Grand last night,
And now you're making it a parlay.
I guess so. For now, anyway.
That girl Ronnie, does she have anything to do with it?
I don't know. Maybe. It's all kind of mixed up. See, the other night, I can't walk in that church till I'm sure.
I have to be getting back to the store. I can't afford to be fired from two places on the same day.
Do you know what? I really enjoyed that. It wasn't that much kissing as I thought there was going to be, but I thought that was really good. Now, girls, I could really tease you. My God, that look at the end, that look, so cheeky. But that's it, guys. That's it for the night. We've done an hour. Like Tracy said, that was revenge for Steve Peck. It's true. I don't blame him. So I hope you've had a good show. We had a bit of fun at the end. Don't forget, we have got the new Facebook Messenger where we just carry on talking. So please, if you haven't Facebooked me, let me put my name in here. Join the Facebook. Friend request me. Let's have a look. And then we can carry on talking. Don't forget, the whole point of the Facebook Messenger thing is that we can also send pictures, small clips, video clips, documents, and chat 24/7. It's nice and easy, isn't it? Just to have your phone close by and just tap in a few messages. And I have found that a lot of the conversations you guys were having on the Facebook Messenger were really interesting. Yeah, really interesting. We learned a lot. We even got Amy Collett on there giving us loads of evidence, even documents. So, guys, that's it. We are back in the morning. I am going to have another go at fixing that car tomorrow. So it's still not fixed, which is annoying, but I have to do it. So thanks, guys. Sending you all love. Anyone watching now, please subscribe, become a member, and don't be shy to join in, guys. Join in, have a chat with us. If you've not joined in before, we are very friendly. Team Elvis, we're very welcoming. We're very friendly. We're a small, growing family. We have a movement. Defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. This is our movement. This is why we're here, to defend Elvis. We are defending Elvis. We are Elvis defenders. Team Elvis, taking care of business. Okay, guys. Good night, everyone. We've had a nice live stream, haven't we? Take care, guys. Sending you all love. So thanks, Natalie and Patricia and Deborah and Jane and Stacy and Kelly Dan and Yvette and Linda and chilling in Canada and Vibex, Tracy, Teresa. I think that's most of you guys. I'll try and think of a subject tomorrow, but you know me, I go with how I feel. Is it Kelly Dan and Lorna? Sometimes we have and Teresa, sometimes we have no subject, and we just see how it unfolds. And Jane and Cheryl. So, Satlin. I think that's everyone. Diane, yeah. Okay, we're out of here. But we can carry this on Facebook Messenger. Thanks, guys. Take care. Give you a wave.